Okay, so this guy thought that I had a hate for dark-skinned black men because he thought that it was because my dad was killed by a dark-skinned black man. The fantasies in people's minds are weird to me. You do know that I didn't know that my dad was even murdered until I was 12, I think. And my dad died before I was born. So I don't really, it wouldn't have a personal effect like you're thinking, really. So I came up with the idea that dark skinned black men were ugly when I was, I think, 6. I thought that was a normal thought. I thought it was normal to think that they kind of looked out of the norm. You have to think. In my family, I have dark skinned black women in my family. I have medium complected black women in my family that are like, Rihanna's color, Halle Berry's color, Nicki Minaj's color, my color. And then you have light skinned black females in the family. Now, of my male relatives, I've had brown skinned black relatives that are basically around, what's it called? LL Cool J's color, Will Smith's color. You get it, the brown color. And then light skin. I don't have any dark skinned black family members in my family, okay? None of the males in my family are dark skinned. They're brown or lighter. And honestly, my female relatives chose men who were light skinned or brown skinned. I've had conversations with my mother on this, and I've always kind of had the idea that dark skinned black men are kind of viewed as if they have parts that are a little unideal, even to dark skinned black women. Would you say that this is self hate? I think some of you guys would say this is self hate. That some dark skinned black women don't prefer dark skinned black men. I want to tell you something though. A dark skinned black woman does not have feces attached to her crotch. She doesn't have a penis that looks like feces. A dark skinned black man does. And that's a common thing among some dark skinned black women I've talked to who were like, yeah, that was really unattractive to them. And a major reason why they didn't want dark skinned black men was because the main part of you that is supposed to be a sexual organ actually looks like feces, which feces does not look like a sexual organ, obviously. So, you know, is that really anything about self hate when you don't actually have that body part? No. Because dark skinned black women don't have that part. Only dark skinned black men have feces attached to their crotch. So, that's one part of it. Me, I honestly, the first time I saw that on a dark skinned black man, and I've seen it in porn, accidentally, I was looking up, and it wasn't because I was wanting to see the man, the dark skinned black man. I was trying to see, I watch gay porn, so I was trying to see a man. He was white, Hispanic-ish looking guy. And, I didn't think it was a big deal that a black man was there if I'm focusing on one guy, but apparently it was because he had shit attached to his crotch, you know. So that's a major reason why I'm just not attracted to black men. It's because, being completely honest, even if we didn't pay attention to your face, your male member doesn't even look like a male member. And, you know, it's not just me. You were saying it was just me. No, there are a lot of other people who think your stuff looks like shit. You know, um, I've talked to family members who have said that was a major reason why they didn't want to be with a dark skinned black man. And they're dark skinned black women themselves. It might be very well why I am not dark skinned, because my mother didn't prefer you guys. She didn't prefer a dark skinned black man. And then on top of it, because of the way I grew up in a family like that, where there aren't any dark skinned black men, of course, that built the whole idea of how I don't see dark skinned black men as masculine, because the only image of dark skin I ever saw was a dark skinned black woman. So if that's the only image I've seen as dark skinned black women, then of course, to me, that's a feminine image. That's not you know, me hating dark skinned black men. No. Like I said, I came up with the idea that dark skinned black men were kind of weird looking and they weren't very attractive and they looked like women when I was, I think, 6 years old. I think, honestly, when I was a little kid, I thought all men were ugly. But then, after time went on, I was like 6, 7. That's when I started puberty. And then I realized, I was like, oh, men are attractive. But dark skinned black men to me looked weird because I never looked at them, I never saw them, I never interacted with them. See, this isn't hate towards them. How can I hate something I'm not interacting with? The first time I interacted with a dark skinned black man was when I was like 17. And honestly, it wasn't a negative experience. Instead, he actually came up to me, said I was beautiful, said I looked like I was Middle Eastern or something, and was trying to actually push, like trying to hit on me and stuff. I was like, oh shit. I'm only 17. How do I get myself out of the situation? Like, this weird looking motherfucker is trying to bother me and stuff. So that was mainly my issue, you know, back then. I don't, like I said, I had that issue a few times, quite a few times, with sexual harassment and things of that nature. So it kind of was like this. You don't have an attraction towards dark skinned black men, but they're bothering you so much. And you feel like at this point, what can you really do to kind of like make a situation where they don't bother you, you know, because you're not interested, but you don't know how to stop it. So that's where all the problems started when I was like 18 through 26. Big problems during that time period before the pandemic, basically. I get harassed every day, in and out, just bothered by those people and, trying to ignore them, wearing headsets. Still, some people still freaking out, still making police reports because when you don't talk to a black man, sometimes they really get aggressive and violent and want to attack you, So, you know, I can say yes, I did have bad experiences later on, but the lack of attraction started when I was a very young child, and I never saw them as attractive because I never saw them as men. I saw females with the phenotype they have, and that's a very feminine phenotype of which I was taught by people of all races, by the way. You talking about white people saying dark skin isn't attractive. Well, in my experience with my dark skinned black mother, I've always been told how beautiful she was by white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, black people, and so forth. So, to me, from my perspective, I just don't really, relate to anything you're talking about here. Also, you're going on the colors and conversations of issues with lighter skinned women. I am a lighter skinned woman. I'm not dark skinned. If we split it in half, darker to lighter, I'm actually lighter. So I don't have any issue with myself. That's really weird that you're saying I have issues with myself. Really weird. But yeah. I think often you guys go on a script, okay? So you start talking about colorism, crybabies. You start talking about the black women who are the Cynthia G's of these YouTube streets and who are crying about wanting black men and nonsense shit. You always need to come up with some other excuse as to why someone doesn't want you. I fucking don't want you because of your fucking ugly ass female looking face, okay? I fucking don't want you, okay? It's not like, that's it. That's it. I don't think you're a bad person. I just think you're ugly. I think you look like a female. There is no interest. I'm never going to have an interest. This is what I always tell people on the street. Leave me the fuck alone. And the only way you can really get them off of your back is if you can get them to want to fight you, basically. You can't tell them, oh, I'm just not interested. I don't want this. I'm not interested. Leave me alone, kind of thing. You can't do that. They will still bother. You're the same way, basically. You still want somebody to prefer you. Because why are you still trying to prove to me how you are appealing of some sort or another, and it's just because I was traumatized or something of that nature, when I've always felt that way about you? And why shouldn't I? I mean, like, if I'm not dark-skinned, why should I prefer you? This is what I talked about in one of my past videos. Light-skinned and brown-skinned black people, we aren't obligated to like you. If we're loving our own image, it isn't you. I know you wish your image was ours, but it's not, sweetie. So, I mean, why don't you go focus on liking your image? Oh, yeah, I forgot you can't. That's why you're mad at me, because you think everything I said was right. You wouldn't even date you if you had the chance, because you would not be attracted to you as a woman. And that's what hurts dark-skinned black men, because they don't like dark-skinned black women, and they know very well they would not like themselves if they were a woman of any color. The worst poison to an individual is the poison within the individual, not actually something that comes from outside, but actually the inner insecurities of that person. And dark-skinned black men, they wear it so openly. They wear their self-hate so openly. They wear their own insecurities so openly. It's like, it's just right there. If I want to feel better than you, all I have to do is listen to you. Listen to you bash your own image. As a non-dark-skinned black woman, when I see you bash dark-skinned black women, all you're doing from my perspective is putting yourself below me, because you have the dark skin. If we turn your image into a female image, you have a dark-skinned black woman's image, not me. So to me, it's just dumb to keep demeaning yourself like this. And you constantly do this. You guys always do this. You don't have any other script but to say, self-deprecate, self-deprecate, self-deprecate myself, in hopes that it will affect me. And it's like, what do I have in this? I'm not the dark-skinned black woman. I'm not the dark-skinned black man. You guys having some kind of issue with your skin tone, you're only proving to me that I should be happy with what I got, which is nice to see. I still do think that dark-skinned black women look better, though, honestly. It's just how I see it. I've always said dark-skinned black women are prettier than light-skinned black women. That's just how I see it. To me, it's a whole full package, kind of thing. But, personally to me, I guess that is self-deprecating. But, I know that I have my own benefits to my own phenotype, and light-skinned black women, they have their own benefits to their own phenotype too, So to me, I mean, like, I'm not saying that light-skinned black women aren't beautiful. Light-skinned black women are beautiful too, you know. But my point is, I just kind of feel like with you talking about how you wish you were desirable, you wish you were masculine, when in reality, all you've equated yourself out to be is a criminal, an animal who needs to be locked up. And if you really think that your dark skin makes you a criminal and an animal, like the channel I was talking about, who he does think that he is a criminal and an animal, then you don't need to be in regular society. You don't need to be walking the streets with people who are not aware that you're just a wild animal full of violence. You think that that's masculinity. You think that that's what being a dark-skinned black man is being an animal, being violent, and things of that nature. And, I think it's really telling that you just assumed that my father was killed by a dark-skinned black man. I never have said that my father was killed by a dark-skinned black man. Never have. Honestly, it's not even known who killed him. It could have been a white man. Like, you don't know who killed him. So, I mean, like, that's kind of weird that people just assumed that it was a dark-skinned black man. Like I said, you don't want to face the music, okay? You don't want to face the fact that it just am not attracted to full lips, high cheekbones, almond-shaped eyes, soft round nose, soft forehead, brow ridge that doesn't even have any. It has like a feminine, shallow, round depth to it, you know? And then, like I said, the forehead is round, the hairline is round, you got big booties. And on top of it, your body hair isn't even that prominent because your body hair compared to your skin tone, it's not very different. They're basically the same thing, brown skin, dark brown hair, they're basically the same color. Therefore, you don't even look that hairy. And you guys tend to be less hairy than white men and other races in general, which is a very important thing because I love hairy men. I really do. But anyway, on top of it, one other thing I wanted to say was, as far as size, the whole animalistic thing actually kills you. People assume you're bigger than what you are. And that kills you too, because people see you as more of a threat than what you are, which actually leads you to become more of a victim than anything, which is not really good for you. So you shouldn't be pushing that. I mean, just for the well-being of black men, I would advise not to push that kind of image for a black man. Also, another thing, as far as size, technically, actually, black men tend to be smaller than white men. White men tend to be taller than them. But yeah, I think some light-skinned and mixed men do have a bigger build than dark-skinned black men as well. And that's just the whole combination thing, which can actually be more of a benefit because sometimes they can even be bigger than the average white man as well, But yeah, that's basically all I have to say in this video. I just kind of feel like, dude, you shouldn't be so concerned about what I think anyway because I'm just one individual. Go where you're wanted. You're obviously not wanted by me, and it's not because of any trauma. It's just because of how you fucking look, okay? I'm sorry. It is just how you look. You look like a woman to me. I'm a heterosexual. I'm attracted to men and people that in my mind register as a man. A black man does not register as a man to me, so because of that, I don't think you qualify as a man I can be attracted to, a man I can prefer. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, guys, and have a great day. Bye.